Hey, how's it going, all you lovely people at Door Shutter, coming back to you with episode 24 of FTB NeoTech, and today we have changed the crafting recipes for a lot of applied energistic stuff. I have kept some of it. As you can see, these are still working, but not everything. One of those things, I did replace the crafting units recipe to be normal. One of the things that I did notice, and I don't know if I wanted to keep it, so I haven't kept it, is in the Cube.js files, which is how they've changed recipes. They did replace like iron with iron plates and gold with electrum plates. I was kind of tempted to keep that, but honestly, I don't really care that much if that was kept. It would just require us to do more work. I mean, it wouldn't be bad once we actually have the units, so I was kind of thinking about doing that, but as of now, I just kind of have not kept it. But yeah, we are going to just get moving here with the whole system of potentially autocrafting. And this will just tenfold shoot us in the sky, right? This will make everything 10 times easier, because at the end of the day, we won't have to be worrying about too much. So, let's get into this. So, I probably will need to do a couple things here. Trying to think. I need to have more access to a controller here. So, I have another ME controller. Let's see. Do I just want to cardboard boxes? Real fast. Kind of just clear this out for a second. ME controller, and I'm just going to put this right here. Let's grab an anchor. See, nether quartz, can I do this one? I can. Okay, put that right there. And this should be better off, because I should be able to now take this cable out. And take that anchor off. Now we should be golden. So I should put an anchor there and grab a dense cable. So let's see. So Fluix covered. So another thing, of course, we still do have like the electric mixer Fluix crystal recipe. I don't actually think I enabled the world drop. I did not actually see that one, so it's probably off in the config of AE2, so I probably have to go into the config and fix that. But some stuff I'm keeping, some stuff I'm not. I think there's utility to having kind of that cross-compatibility between AE2 and Modern Industrialization. Because I think they did a good job on some of it, but the fact that you can't do everything simpler for some reason just kind of is the reason why I went ahead and changed it. So, let's see here. We are going to need a couple things. So, molecular assembler. Okay, so this is still a changed recipe. Why are you still changed? Okay, so real quick, we're going to use these to make some crafting storage pieces. So we're just going to get 2 of those. We're going to grab... let's actually grab... Okay, I need a few more pieces. We're going to basically just get 2 sets of these and then have, I think, 4... 2 and 2 should be good, I think. So just like this. So this would be 1 unit, this would be 1 unit. But I just need to make sure we have enough logic processors over here to continue on. And it looks like we're actually out of them. That should be golden. We'll let those craft up. But let's go get this stuff placed down behind the AE2 system. We're just going to put it behind the wall. We're not going to do like a crafting chandelier this episode. We may get into that in the future. But I really just want to build up what we have currently to actually be able to get this stuff going. So that should be golden. And then now we just need to get the molecular assemblers, which I could not find the recipe for. So I'm not 100% sure where this aluminum plate stuff comes from. Genuinely not really sure. So that is something to be aware of. I think I also need some quartz glass. I think I need to go macerate some of this stuff up. Alrighty. Just a few things here real quick. So the system is coming along. I'm just kind of waiting for stuff to process here. So with Autocrafting, one of the problems with Modern Industrialization specifically is you can't really have two materials go into these machines at once. Especially because there will always be a delay between processes. Because if you start with, for example, processing gold dust in a macerator, and you need to make iron dust immediately after, if you're doing like a 256 gold dust, that will heat up the machine, in a sense, to then run efficiently to process that said gold dust. But once the iron is put in there to make iron dust, it has to cool all the way down and then proceed to make the iron dust. So I'm not 100% sure how we want to take that specifically on, because that will be something we're going to have to look into. Just not 100% sure how I want to go about it. Once we get, of course, stainless steel, we'll be able to do dimensional storage, which is going to be our ender chest option, basically. But we do need stainless steel. I'm kind of wondering how we're doing on sugarcane and stuff, because if we need to improve this, I guess we could look at that too. Because I know that's going to be a big process of like making rubber for cables and those rubber sheets that we just saw we were out of. Because that is that process right here. So I have a process, I just need to figure out how to get it more automated. The only problem, of course, with that is we do run off of coal, because we do need coal coke, and I don't think there's a better way to do that. I mean, we could look. So, vacuum freezer with the this stuff, this rubber stuff, which is styrene and that stuff. Yeah, so it's just like a chemical process, basically. Okay. I mean, that's an option, but definitely not one we have currently. So does this just give you more? Yeah, it does it. A little bit more for chromium. Let's see. So I saw that you could get, yeah, the distillation tower, steam cracked light fuel, distillery, canning machine. See, I don't, but the thing is, like, yeah, you just keep running into things that I've never even heard of. Because this just gives you a whole bunch of stuff. Even ethanol, or ethylene, not ethanol. Methane, propane. And this process is probably just, like, absolutely ridiculous, right? Sulfuric naphtha, which is crude oil breaking down in a distillation tower. That's actually not awful. That's not terrible. Because I'm pretty sure, yeah, you can just get this. Once you get stainless steel, you can just get shale oil. What else can you get with this? So just shale oil. And then shale oil breaks down from the distillery, and you can get that sulfuric naphtha, or the sulfuric crude oil, which sulfuric crude oil can break down into crude oil. So you kind of have another way to get that unless you use this in a different method. But yeah, definitely some interesting stuff to look into. We will probably get into that much, much later down the line. But yeah, let's get some coal just thrown in here for right now. So we should now be able to make pattern providers here. We're going to probably just get a couple of them. Let's see. I want to get a little bit more than a couple. Let's crafting tables. Just grab some more planks here. And once we get access to actually using Autocrafting, we will definitely be automating a lot of the base stuff of Modern Industrialization and also AE2. So we can kind of just fly through this in the next portion. So we also get 4 molecular assemblers from that, which I did not know. but we still have a few. So let's try and make a couple more pattern providers here. Okay, so we'll match that. So what I'm going to try and do is kind of a basic system here. Nope, I did not mean to do that. Let's grab a wrench here. So I'm going to do... Man, I cannot place. So this, and then alternate. So this way, you kind of get a little bit more bang for your buck, even if we are kind of bare minimum right now. And that is not using a whole lot of channels. And of course, we could then put another one here, which of course wouldn't use that much channels. But let's not get ahead of ourselves here. So we need to get a pattern encoding terminal, which actually we don't really need to do that because I actually have one right here built into my wireless grid because I had to make one to test some stuff. So it looks like we still have some like odds and ends where we are modern industrialization-ified. And I really don't know how. Let me get some of these plates processed down, run them through the wire mill, and we'll be back here in a second. All right, so we've got some patterns here. We're just going to snag these guys up. And we should now be able to use this. And let's just get started with some basic stuff. So, for example, digital, what is it called? Circuit. So we've got like these electronic circuits. So there is another way to make these, which is this method, but that doesn't save us anything. So there's no point in really just going for that. Is there anything that saves us on this one? Nope, same process. So this one, this. We're going to have to get into making machines. I know that. That'll definitely be something we will do here in a little bit. Electrum cables. Then probably diodes. And if we can actually do in-dipped, which would be pretty cool. That'll definitely be something down the line, of course. But that's okay. Transistor. Okay, so this is a lot of our basic stuff that we have to probably aid in crafting. So we're just going to toss this in here and see if we can actually craft one of these. Okay, so that does work as long as we have the materials. So what I think I want to do is I probably want to have a line of machines either in here or integrate into the machines we have upstairs to actually get this working. Also, I've started a quest here, which is the Master of LV. I'm kind of just monitoring some quests and looking here. There's actually a creative lava tank here. There's some other good stuff as well in this. And we have actually kind of surpassed some of these, not all of them. Like this one, we still need to get into pneumatic craft. Definitely still need to do that. Just have not really felt like doing that. But once we get this auto-crafting stuff, I think we should be golden to go for it. So the next portion of this would be to kind of figure out what else we need. So applied energistics, I'm thinking we could probably go for base craft of this stuff. Just wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay, actually, I just made the 4K, so we want the 16K, and then 64K, and then I think we can stop there. Do this one as well. Perfect. Just kind of going to go through some generic ones. I know we need stuff like planks, and of course, this is not going to hold that many patterns as well. This whole thing, it's not going to hold that many. But that's also okay. So let's actually go for things like... Hope we just unlocked a whole bunch of quests. Okay, let's get that knocked out. Stuff that we've already done. And that did unlock the infinite water cell as well. Some capacitors, some steel ingots, stuff that we really don't need that much of. So this one's 2.4 million. And that would give us a creative mode Steve's Carts thing. This gave us a potion of flying, which I don't know how useful that's going to be. but it'll probably be useful at some point. Bronze gears. Apologies for just getting, like, sidetracked here. So what does this guy have? Because I'm assuming it's a special villager and not just some generic. And he is... Okay, kind of useless. That's okay. I was expecting something better. But, yeah, bronze drills, nothing too excessive. Nothing too extreme. Okay. Let's see. Epic bacon? Yeah, that's something we don't have. We're just going to let that one process. Okay, so what I was thinking is grabbing things like oak. Get some oak plank recipes. Get sticks. Chests. Kind of just get some of our basic ones out of the way there. There's tons and tons of recipes we'll teach this thing over time. Probably need to do a patterns one. I gotta get used to actually opening this, by the way. So we probably want to make a patterns one. And I think we'll start on looking at machine crafting. And I think we're going to do it back here. The first kind of machine we probably want to look at is getting a macerator. Electric macerator. Let's see if we can actually teach some of this to our system. So, steel machine casing. I should have enough steel gears in here to not worry about that for right now. And then basic. And then from there to here. Out of patterns. See if I can just snag up 32. Nope. Okay, so we should be able to now grab this pattern. We'll want to grab a piston pattern. And we have plenty of motors in here, so I'm not worried about that right now. Macerator. And we may want to look at actually getting a large macerator. That may not be a bad idea. May not be. I'm not 100% sure, though. So for right now, I think we could do that. Well, that's actually still not a good pattern. So I think we're going to just toss these into a... Actually, hold on. Let's do this. Let's not do specific machines. Let's just do components so we don't waste a whole bunch of storage. That sounds like a good idea to me. Rather than just throwing everything, you know, just basically wasting a whole bunch of space. Let's just get these tossed in here. So that should cover a macerator, though. So if we just control click instead of normal click, that should get everything we need for a macerator. And we are going to need to power this, so we'll have to figure that out. But let's get that placed down. And we also probably want to teach this thing how to make the hull. What is it? Is it machine? What is it called? This thing right here. And of course, a major portion of this we still don't have craftable. So that is another thing. So advanced. And then we can just turn around and toss this in here. And see if we can grab one. Perfect. Toss that in here. So I probably want to just run... Either put oil generators over here or run a cable over here. So this is almost done, so I could probably get the energy cable put under the ground, like we already have, and go from there. This is not going to look pretty, but it's going to be covered, so it's not like it matters. So I think we'd have to run it along the floor, because we do have AE2 cables right here. That is too far. So we're looking like right here. So this one and this one. So we probably just want to get some Electrum cables. See if we can do 64. We cannot. See if we can do 16. I don't know if that'll be enough, but we will try. So I'm actually just going to do a straight shot to the wall and then bank it left rather than what I just dug out. Because I think this should be more efficient. Should be. Okay. And then we just get stone. Oop, out of stone. Am I not using Silk Touch right now? Okay. And then we can just get rid of the hole in the ground. Okay. So with that, let's put this stuff away. Actually, we probably need to grab this back out because we do want to be able to export out of this. So we're going to export out of the front, and then I'm going to run... I do need cables over here, so that is another thing. So let's do pattern. Isn't there... Yeah, we could do pattern provider, like, right here. And then barrel. And then item cable. I think that'll work. So if we just grab normal barrel. We grab a pattern provider, which is going to be needed for every machine. So this is going to be channel intensive, that's for sure. Okay, so pattern provider, barrel. Yes, that's exactly where I want that barrel. Makes total sense. Okay, barrel, and then item cable. Or item pipe, right? That's what they're called here. So we're going to do output, doesn't matter. And then input, doesn't matter. We just do blacklist on both. Okay. And we probably want to actually get an anvil real fast. Because we probably want to name this the machine or close to it. And then put that back down. Because that will actually tell us the system if we ever look inside of our AE2 with the crafting manager, I believe. Is it pattern? There's a terminal specifically for it. The pattern access terminal might be it. If I'm not mistaken. But I can't actually recall as of current. But we don't really need one. This will just be for future use. Anyway, once we have so many machines that we want to manage them through a terminal, that would be when we actually need to worry about it. Right now, I can access everything quite easily. Usually, I would get one of them immediately, but I'm not too worried right now. Okay, so there is the macerator, and then, let's see, how do I actually want to pipe items out? Because that is a problem. If I do pipe items out of here, I'm going to have to either run a cable here, or put another barrel here and then a cable here. Let's just do... Let's just do it that way. This may look sloppy, but honestly, we're not going to be back here that much. Okay. So this would be used for anything that we need to macerate. So for example, Fluix dust, if we wanted to teach this system how to make this, this would be one of them. Or quartz dust. So we've got quartz dust, Certus quartz dust, any of these kind of recipes that we will need in the future. We can just toss these guys in here, and then that will hopefully make everything work. So Fluix, so for example, if we just wanted to grab, say, 16 of this, this should pull into here, push into here, and of course it will have that issue we talked about where it'll have a certain amount of clock before it ends, and then the next ingredient batch will be forced to be pushed in, and it will cause a delay, but that's okay. That's what I expect. The next machine I would think is probably the wire mill. Actually, let's do compressor first, because we kind of need plates and then compressor. So, electric compressor, see if we can just go ahead and make this. We cannot. We need 10 wire. So that's kind of what we're going to get to next. But I think I'm going to do the rest of this off camera. So compressor, wire mill, and a bending machine. And there will be, of course, a handful of other machines we grab through time. But that is going to do it for this episode. I know we did not get around to too much this episode, but overall, I have had an absolute blast this episode with getting into AE2 and kind of just getting this going. And this is done. Oh, do we need to actually complete all of these other ones beforehand? Is that what it's telling me? Yes, so you need to complete all of these before this. Okay, that's not gonna be problematic, I don't think. I would just need to do a little bit of crafting. I don't think so, at least, right? I mean, the synthetic rubber we've got upstairs. Actually, do we have synthetic rubber or do we have synthetic... I know there's two different kinds of this, I do believe. Let's actually quickly look before we wrap this episode up, because I'm just going to try and do a lot of this stuff off camera. A lot of the questing. So this is crafting raw synthetic oil, which is then can put into synthetic oil. So if we did sulfur dust in a steel mixer with synthetic oil, that would give us rubber. So this is not rubber. This is most likely synthetic oil still. Okay, so that's something I will look into, getting synthetic rubber. I have sulfur downstairs. I know that for a fact. We have a whole bunch of it sitting in one of these chests. Yeah, this one right here, we have a whole bunch of it. So that is something we can definitely use, and that will not be a bad thing at all. And this thing is out of steel drills, by the way, so it's non-operational from last episode, but that's okay. That is kind of intentional, because we're getting into AE2 crafting to kind of get that sorted in an episode or two, where we'll just do auto crafting and never have to worry about it. Which is kind of one of the reasons I wanted to have auto crafting be super easy. Well, not really easy, because it still requires quite a bit of resources. Without all of our chickens and stuff, we probably wouldn't be where we are right now. So, with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Stay awesome, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye.